Bonjour, coaster fans. Theme Park Lunatic Fringe here, and today's coaster countdown will be about the top 10 roller coasters at King's Dominion. And it is one of my favorite Cedar Fair parks I've been to, but it may not be the best, but it is such an awesome amusement park to visit. And I will be visiting this one in a few weeks. So if my opinions change, then I'll do another countdown. Let's start with the number 10 spot, Ricochet. It's just the Wild Mouse roller coaster, but Ricochet has a really different layout. It has a really big drop, and then you have more airtime. It may be bumpy, but it's a lot better than the standard Wild Mouse ones. Number 9, Avalanche. It's just your standard bobsled coaster, and it's not bad either. Because it jerks you side to side. It's a pretty good ride. But I have definitely ridden better. I haven't been on this one in a long time, but I will experience this one again when I go to King's Dominion in a couple weeks. Number 8, Backlot Stunt Coaster. And it's your Premier Ride launch coaster. And there is another Premier Ride launch coaster, like Flight of Fear, but the Backlot Stunt Coaster definitely isn't good enough to top Flight of Fear. But it is still a fun ride. I really love the theming. I really like the second launch where you go through a tunnel and then you drop. It has a really good ending. So I really enjoyed this ride a lot. And I'm definitely looking forward to get on this ride. Number 7, we have the Grizzly. And it's just your wooden coaster that has some pretty good airtime. It's a decent ride, but it's a little bit rough, but definitely not as rough as the Hurler. It is a lot smoother. The restraints are pretty comfortable, and I really enjoy this ride because it has a lot of airtime, and it's also my first roller coaster when I first entered this park. And it was really cool. So number 6, we have the Anaconda. And it's just your aerodynamic custom looping coaster. And it has 4 inversions, including an underwater drop. I really love the drop a lot because you go like about 53 miles an hour. It is amazing. I really love the drop a lot. That's the main highlight of the ride. Though I do experience some head banging, but it's slightly rough. Not very rough. It's not unbearable or anything, but it's pretty bad for a smooth coaster. But I still like the Anaconda. I really enjoy this ride. Though I was kind of disappointed in the smoothness, I have still enjoyed this ride. Number 5, we have the Rebel Yell. And it's just your racing coaster. It is fast, it's tall, it has one of the best airtime out there. I really love the airtime a lot. Because there's so much airtime, I cannot resist it. It is awesome. I really love this ride. It is so close to being as good as Flight of Fear. But Flight of Fear just barely escaped from the Rebel Yell. But Rebel Yell was like one tiny little pinch to being tied with Flight of Fear. And perhaps this ride is also my mom's favorite. My mom gets on this ride every time we go to King's Dominion. And every time I get off the ride, I exit the station with a smile on my face. Amazing wooden coaster. Number 4, we have the Flight of Fear, which is your Premier Ride Spaghetti Bowl. Similar to Joker's Jinx or Poltergeist, but it's your indoor dark ride, which makes the ride even cool. It's a lot cooler because it has some really good theming, though Joker's Jinx does have theming, but Poltergeist does not. And the Flight of Fear has 4 inversions, just like any other Spaghetti Bowl does. The launch is pretty powerful. It's a pretty intense ride. I really like everything in this ride. Though it's just all the overbank curves and inversions, though it may not have that much airtime, I still love this ride a lot. So I'm planning to get on this one too. Especially the number 3 spot, Dominator. It may not be the best floorless coaster, but it is a good one. I really love the drop, especially the vertical loop. And then featuring 4 other inversions, a double corkscrew and a cobra roll. All of the inversions are awesome. It's a pretty intense ride. I do pull a few G's throughout this ride. Though it may not be that much Yahtzee on this one, just as much as I Yahtzee on Intimidator 305, Dominator is still a pretty neat roller coaster. The color scheme's pretty good. It's pretty fast. It goes like 65 miles an hour. Then you go through 5 inversions. But the only thing Dominator needs to improve, if they would have added another inversion, then this ride would be number 2. And next is the Volcano. And this roller coaster is an Intamin inverted launch coaster. This roller coaster is so good. I could feel the adrenaline rushing all over me every time I get off of the ride. It is just that intense. And in fact, this ride is so incredible that the launch goes up to 70 miles per hour, and then you go through another launch. And then you go through an Immelman, then some overbank curves, then you go through 3 different barrel rolls. And it has really neat theming. Volcano has a lot of theming. The inversions are there. Though it may not have that much airtime, it may be a short ride, but it is still an incredible ride. And now, the moment you all have been waiting for is the number 1 best roller coaster at King's Dominion, Intimidator 305. And it's your Intamin AG Giga Coaster. I've been on this ride so many times. I cannot even remember how many times I have been on this ride. It is awesome, incredible, phenomenal, absolutely admirable. At first, it was incredible. I really love this ride. I have been on this ride so many times. You go up to 305 feet, and then you go straight down at 300 feet, zooming up to 90 miles per hour. OMG. This roller coaster is one of the most intense rides I have ever experienced. The restraints are really comfortable. I am always comfy in this roller coaster. It is extremely fast. It's really tall. It's supposed to be a long ride, but since this ride is so fast, it goes through just about over a minute. It's still one of the best roller coasters I have ever experienced. It is just one butt kicker. Thank you so much for tuning into my Coaster Countdown. And I really want to know what you think. Please comment down below to see what you think about these roller coasters. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into my video, and I'll see you guys next review.